Hey, welcome back everybody. Alright, so it's an absolutely gorgeous day today out here. A lot of airplanes flying around, and hopefully a lot less frustrating for us today. Is the had some issue with that landing gear last weekend, but we dug into it some more, found a couple more leaks, and let me show you what we got.
That must have been dark. History kind of proved their point.
All right. So up here where this T-fitting goes, we found a Teflon seal ring that had failed. Looks like it just ruptured. So get a new one of those underneath that T-fitting, take care of that. And then in the meantime, I'll be going through the hydraulic cart, and I'm just going to go over this with a fine-tooth comb. I'll be going over this with a fine-tooth comb as best I can. Try to chase down any leaks whatsoever. So all three systems work. However, like you saw in the sight glasses, it gets a little foamy whenever this thing's running. So all three systems have some sort of air leak, and that is what's causing us so much heartaches with the Phantom's hydraulics. Is they're just getting a lot of air into the system, so then a good amount of it seems to have gotten trapped in the main landing gear ram. So go through this, see if I can get this thing to get a solid column of fluid, and if so, we'll be in much better shape for getting the Phantom's hydraulics going, because we need to get a good gear swing in order to get her down off the jacks, and then we can move on to the other hydraulic systems. I thought this thing made a funny noise on the way back, and I was right. Looks like this one threw a belt. So the water pump, the alternator, both get belt driven, and neither one of them are being driven right now. So this thing is going to need a new belt. Yay, more ground maintenance. All right, so we got to fish that out of there. See what we got.
Actually, I think that lower one's probably the big one.
All right, show us your prizes.
Yeah.
Oh man, that thing shredded that belt like nobody's business.
Yeah, it's...
Wow.
That's like a piece. This is one...
I think we can get warranty on that.
I don't know.
Any numbers on it?
If they're in the next dimension.
That's just a standard V-belt. We'll find a replacement for it. But yeah. Alright, so this tug isn't going to be driving far, because that belt drives the water pump and also the alternator. So this thing can't cool itself anymore, nor charge its battery. So we got to get a belt. Right, so to help illustrate what we got working on with this mule, this thing is a little old. Actually, it's quite a bit old, and to the point that this thing has a 6-cylinder gas engine that actually belongs in an aircraft. This is a air-cooled horizontally opposed 6-cylinder made by Continental that you would find in an aircraft. So that is our prime mover. So the engine turns this drive shaft right there in the middle of the screen, and it drives all three pumps through this gear case assembly that's right here, and by extension also drives the big hydraulic cooling fan on the backside there on the opposite side of the kite from me. So as you can see, it's quite cramped in here. So I'm doing what I can to chase down all the leaks, or find any leaks rather, and hopefully try to minimize the amount of air that this thing is sucking. If I can eliminate the air leaks, then we'll have a much more useful hydraulic mule, and we'll go from there. Awesome. All right, so I want to eliminate one of the simple things first. This hydraulic cart has a main reservoir tank, which is right here. And that's where all three pumps draw their fluid from. And what I want to make sure is that the tank just simply isn't low. Now, there isn't a sight glass on the side of the tank, and it does have a reservoir low-level switch, but I highly doubt that that switch works anymore. Plus, the light may just simply be burnt out up on the instrument panel. In either case, what I did was I pulled the filler neck out that has the screen, and I'm just going to stick the tank and make sure that it's just simply low. And I believe it's quite low. Oh yeah, that's not even half a tank. All right, so I have a very strong feeling that that's the main cause of our issues. Is this just has a low reservoir tank, and the pumps are just picking up a lot of air because as it's trying to move fluid, it's just picking up air as it's trying to do so. So, all right, now to go find some hydraulic fluid and top this thing off, and I'll try to bleed it out again, and we'll go from there. Yeah. We'll get you going soon. All right, well, here's our stock of 5606 hydraulic fluid, which is what the Phantom takes, and that's what the hydraulic cart wants also. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, we have 4 gallons. All right. Time to look around some more. Hopefully we got a barrel of this sitting around, but hopefully that is not all that we have. All right, well, there's those 4 gallons. We're gonna need some more in this thing before we can deal with the Phantom's hydraulics, but we're gonna likely be ordering some more really soon. So what we're thinking is up underneath is where the 3 pickups are for the 3 pumps, and with that tank being low, not only was it sucking fluid like it's supposed to, it was also low enough that it was starting to pull air into the hydraulics. So what we want to do next is fill this thing up the way it's supposed to be, and then bleed it and try again. And as long as we get clean fluid in all the sight glasses, we'll hook it back up to the Phantom and go from there, and hopefully do what we can to get the high air out of the Phantom. Once we get a good gear swing and get her off the jacks, then we can move on to flight controls and ultimately back in the air. So that's the goal here. All right, so we got a solid plan moving forward to get more fluid into the hydraulic mule. We did some cleanup over in the Phantom hangar, as well as this one with the F-100, just picking up tools and just tidying up. So we got to get some hydraulic fluid on order and go from there with the mule. So with that, thank you guys for watching, and we'll see you next time.